Hello, my name is Shahin. I'm a Canadian Open Neuroscience Platform Scholar and a PhD candidate working at the MICA lab at the Montreal Neurological Institute. My work focuses on the behavioral, structural, and functional features of relational memory in the population at large. Relational memory is a catch-all term for those brain processes that bind the singular components of subjective experience into a unified whole. Episodic memory, semantic memory, spatial memory, these are all examples of relational cognition. To this day, the neuroscientific community lacks an overarching standardized framework for assessing the different dimensions of relational memory, and that's where yours truly comes in. With the help of my colleagues at the MICA lab, I have devised the Integrated Relational Evaluation Paradigm, or simply iREP, which is a task-based functional magnetic resonance imaging platform for studying the different types of relational memory. The iREP is comprised of three modules. So there's an episodic task, a semantic task, and a spatial task. And these tasks have been homogenized and also calibrated for the level of difficulty, which makes the iREP ideal for cross-comparative analyses of different memory functions and also different population cohorts. In patients who are diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy, these individuals will present with variable degrees of lesion to the structures of the medial temporal lobe, such as the hippocampus and parahippocampus, and these are known structures of the brain involved in supporting relational memory. So it's important to perform cross-comparative analyses of different groups of people. And so as it happens, since 2018, we have been conducting large-scale longitudinal brain data acquisitions in healthy controls as well as patients with temporal lobe epilepsy. Recently, I published a paper in the scientific journal Cerebral Cortex where I consider the structure-function correlates of spatial memory in particular. What we did was to recruit 48 healthy young adults, and for each participant we acquired structural, resting state, and task-based iREP data. We then implemented multiple linear regression analysis to evaluate the association between spatial memory performance and structural MRI-derived measures of cortical thickness. And what we observed was that there was a very strong correlation between performance and cortical thickness in the medial and lateral temporal cortical areas. Furthermore, we also leveraged online meta-analytical approaches to extract coactivation maps in those regions of the brain that are functionally involved in spatial cognition, and we found that cortical thickness in these regions is also positively correlated with spatial memory performance. Finally, we found that performance, once again, has a modulatory effect on the resting state connectivity profiles between medial and lateral temporal areas. Overall, these results suggest that there is an integrated structure-function substrate for spatial memory in medial and lateral temporal areas. Currently, I'm implementing a combination of linear mixed effects models and graph theory to explore the full gamut of our behavior data collected using the iREP for both healthy individuals and patients diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. Now, my preliminary results suggest that the relational cognitive networks of patients diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy are significantly altered compared to what we observe in healthy controls. And I'm currently writing the manuscript, and hopefully we will have a paper published within the near future. By the end of my PhD, I hope that I will have developed the iREP to its fullest and to make it available to the neuroscientific community such that it can use it to assess these different types of cognitive processes. And I'm very hopeful that one day, and perhaps not the too distant future, the iREP will become somewhat of a gold standard in the assessment of different memory functions. If you are looking for additional information, you can go to our GitHub page. There is a version of the iREP available which also contains in-depth tutorials. Thank you.